on pole. Alan Gurr beside him, Jason Heinrich on the inside of the second, Blake Curtis and Matthew Wall on the fourth row, and Bart Price and Tim Macro, the Victorian, share the fifth row of the grid. Should be a terrific battle this. We've not seen a bad race today. The Junior Intercontinental A was an absolute cracker at this brand new multi-million-dollar facility at Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway. Away we go, and best to begin was Barclay Holden. Gee, he left them standing. I shouldn't really use that expression because it is a rolling start, but they couldn't keep up with him as they charged through the first left-hander early in this race, and they're all doing a fairly good job. Man in second spot at the moment is Alan Gurr, who's breaking out of the pack quickly, the driver of kart number 19. And now welcome to the microphone, a regular commentator on our karting telecast, Troy Hunt. Great start by all drivers.
Yeah, definitely right, David. You see McFadden's up there also now. He's got up there, but Barclay Holden's done a tremendous job this weekend. He's had some great races, some great heat wins, and I know he hasn't been with the Azuro team very long. He's teamed up with Richie McLeod, the Formula A driver, and they're doing a great job to lead this race. It's not very easy, and being an Australian-made chassis, Australian product, they're doing a great job. It's
a high-speed freight train. You're looking at the battle for first and second. Barclay Holden. He drives an Azuro kart. I trust I've pronounced that correctly. Alan Gurr, the New South Welshman, who's been helping us out with commentary over the last couple of rounds when he's not driving. He's Cosmic mounted.
It'll be interesting to see here, David. Australian-made chassis got off to a great start, but as you know, these races are quite long and very physical. It'll be interesting to see whether it'll hold on and hold up to the test. It has all weekend. It's got one more race to prove to themselves, the team. They've got one more race, and they're doing a great job to lead it in the first place. But you've got McFadden, he's come from a fair way back, and Gurr have been great contenders all year. It'll be interesting to see what they can do towards the end of the race.
McFadden, currently the point score leader, approaching this fourth and final round. There he is on screen. The skilled engineering entry, kart number 59, leads on 149 points to Alan Gurr, who lies second in the championship chase on 124. That's approaching this last round, so McFadden can afford to feel comfortable, you think, Troy?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've been talking to Neil over the weekend, being a teammate of mine, and he's going out there sure to win the race, but he knows that he doesn't have to do anything stupid, and the championship is very important to him and also to the team. So he's just going to make sure that he comes home with the championship and make sure he keeps everything together in one piece. He knows he's not going to do anything stupid.
Nice shot of young McFadden at work in the office. Alan Gurr immediately ahead of him. One of the fine young talents in national karting. Driver of machine number 19. A Cosmic kart, as I've mentioned. Man in third spot, McFadden, driving the top kart. They are both New South Wales-based drivers. Barclay Holden, the leader, is a Queenslander. And I reckon there's probably only 10 metres separating first to third at the moment. Things are pretty tight out there.
Yeah, definitely. You can see also, I noticed in a lot of the other classes of racing, there has been a variety of chassis and engine and tyre combinations. And up here again, we've got the Azuro chassis, then the Cosmic, then the top kart, and then also behind, I think it might even be another Cosmic kart of Adam Macro. That's the of Tim Macro. Sorry, that's the brother of Adam Macro, who's a well-known name in Australian motorsport nowadays.
I know I'm probably jumping ahead of myself just a touch because there's a long way to go in this event, but looking at the point score scenario, if they stay as they are on the racetrack now, i.e. Barclay Holden, Alan Gurr and Neil McFadden running first to third respectively, the championship will end up going to McFadden on 189 points. Gurr will be second on 177, and Jason Burns should finish fractionally ahead of Barclay Holden. But as I said, that's several laps up the road. Just trying to keep you up to date if you may have just joined us with the way it possibly may work out.
Yeah, Jason Burns will probably be one putting the pressure here. We haven't seen him on screen for a while. I think he seems to be around the middle of the pack. So where he finishes is probably just determined third spot, which will be, to them, it's quite a prestigious position, and everyone to finish third in the Australian Championship is definitely nothing to be ashamed of.
Working through a pair of left-handers. Many millions of dollars spent on this new circuit at Eastern Creek in the west of Sydney.
You can see here the top three drivers. With this circuit, it's can use very many different driving styles. Personally myself, I drive a lot very aggressive on this circuit, but you can look at Barclay Holden. He pushes the kart around and drives it to its limits, and everyone feels different about the way they drive. You see McFadden, he's sort of the opposite, and no matter where Neil drives, he always seems to be the same. He's very smooth in what he does, and brakes very early, but also exits the corner very fast. So you've got two extremes of driving styles there, and it'll be interesting to see, you know, because the more aggressive driving style sometimes can tend to heat up the tyres and wear the tyres a little bit more than someone who drives more smooth like Neil. So
yeah, it's a good point.
Come towards the end of the race, these races are more like an endurance race, they're not a sprint race. So come to the end, it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
What category would you put Gurr in the aggressive category, or the smooth, flowing style a la Neil McFadden?
Yeah, well, you can see Gurr. He seems to seems to drive the go-kart very different to some other drivers. In some corners he drives smooth, and other corners he knows he has to attack. So that's also not such a bad way to drive, because some circuits that you do have to drive smooth, but there is some corners on circuits that you have to attack and drive into hard. And I believe personally that you can come out better on top driving like that. So Gurr hasn't got such a bad driving, so he's sort of the guy who's sort of in the middle, and he's putting it together quite well. You can see here Brendan Main, the Tibi kart in 123. I believe he started a fairway back down in the field in the final. He's done such a great job to get up here with the Tibi kart team's a very, I suppose you could say, inexperienced team in this category of racing, and they've got Brendan May on board to do this race and doing a fantastic job to have the product up that high. It's obviously the team have got it together this weekend and doing a fantastic job.
This Intercontinental A category, well, the engines are producing fairly similar horsepower to that being generated by Formula A karts, aren't they?
Yeah, some circuits are even doing faster speeds, and they're normally within 1 or 2 tenths of Formula A. Some tracks, the Formula A are faster, and other tracks into are faster. It's just the way the engine is designed. The Intercontinental A engine is a reed valve inducted engine and produces a little bit more top end, and whereas the rotary valve the Formula A engine is a rotary valve inducted engine, and they work totally different styles. So some circuits benefit the reed valve, other circuits benefit the rotary valve.
Minimum weight limit applying here of 140 kilograms. That's kart and driver combined. Not a lot of weight, is it? I mean, you can literally pick these karts up with one hand.
Yeah, that's right. You know, the hardest thing is a lot of these drivers have to be very fit to race this class, and as I mentioned in the past, it is a very endurance type race. So they have to work on their fitness. They also have to keep their weight down. It's not hard. I'm very light myself and still have to put on only just a couple of kilos of lead on to make the weight. So the weight, although doesn't sound that much and the karts are quite light, the drivers still have to try and watch their weight and keep down and also keep fit at the same time.
That puts me out of contention then.
You have to stay away from the pub on weekends, I suppose.
I don't go there.
Well, these drivers, I know a lot of them concentrate a lot during the week on fitness training and trying to get fit for the races. It makes it hard because this class we only race 4 times a weekend, so to race only that amount of times a year, it's very hard to keep in routine. As I say, practice makes perfect. So only racing 4 times a year, the Australian drivers sort of struggle a little bit, and to go overseas for these drivers is a great experience. I know after this race we have Neil McFadden, Andrew Tomlinson, and also Alan Gurr venturing off to the World Cup in Japan. I raced there last year, and it was a great experience for me, so hopefully it'll do these boys a lot of good and they'll come back and be even better than what they are now.
You've had some success in that World Cup style events too. As we look at the battle with Barclay Holden and Alan Gurr, look at Gurr now serving it up to him. They're separated by half a metre.
I mentioned here earlier in the race that it'd be interesting to see whether Barclay Holden could hold on to the lead and whether he'd last the full distance. But you see here, Gurr, he's just been cruising, looking after everything, and now he's coming up, he's catching Barclay Holden. It'll be interesting to see if they start dicing then, whether McFadden will come into the picture.
I was just thinking exactly that. I wonder, given the point score scenario with McFadden, whether or not he's just happy and content to stay where he is. I'd suspect that is the case. There's no need for him to do anything silly.
Yeah, definitely. I was speaking to Neil earlier in the week and during the race, and he knows what he's got to do to win the championship, and that's what's important to him. And but I'm sure, give Neil a chance. If he's got a chance to win that race, he'll win it. He's not going to sit back there, and he won't be too happy to finish third, but that's what he has to do to win the championship. I'm sure he'll be quite happy to sit there.
Of course, Troy Hunt, the man beside me in the commentary box, will be driving in the Formula A final. You'll see that on the other side of this race. And he's very much in contention for a top 3 finish, so make sure you stick around and catch the action with Troy Hunt, one of the stars of Formula A. Barclay Holden in 35 is still our race leader. Alan Gurr is obviously second in 19. McFadden is third in 59. I think you'll find that Jason Heinrich is fourth in 45, and he's been a pretty impressive youngster this year.
Yeah, Jason's got some very good results this year. been not with one of the biggest teams, I suppose you wouldn't say hasn't been with the most experienced and big teams that he's in the class, but he's put together some good results, and definitely be one to look out for in the future. I think that this is his first year in the Intercontinental race, so to get used to the rubber and the chassis setup and all that is not easy. So he's doing a great job. You see Barclay Holden there in the lead. He was pulled a couple of kart lengths now on Gurra. Whether he was just cruising and has now pulled a bit of a break, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
There's our third place driver, McFadden in 59, sponsored by Skilda. And they pack up again every time Holden appears to steal a break on Gurr. Gurr comes back at him, and they're very tightly packed on the circuit. It doesn't matter where you look. Jason Heinrich is the leader of that battle. I'm sure I'm right in saying he's fourth on the racetrack at the moment in 45. Look at this. They're touching, they're banging, all but crashing.
That was a great battle there. You got also the New Zealander that was sitting in the back of the pack there. He's come over for every round. It's been great to see him come and support the series, and he's done a fantastic job for the amount of experience he's had over here. See Tomlinson there. Tomlinson's got shuffled back a couple of places in this last lap, and also Bart Price. Bart Price has come into the back of this pack from out of nowhere, just due to the fact of them three cards dicing. It's slowed them down a lot and allowed Bart Price into the action.
I'll tell you something, Neil McFadden is starting to catch our leader and second place driver fairly quickly, Holden and Gurr. So perhaps his diligent drive, smooth flowing style, maybe his tyres are in excellent shape, and McFadden may have decided to have a go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure he'll probably try and get onto the back of them too and force them into a mistake, and so that he can go by easy without having to try too hard and maybe force himself into a position where he shouldn't have to be. See Heinrich here. Heinrich's coming through. He's doing quite a good job. It's interesting also, a lot of these guys, not only have they got a race to win, but they've also got something to prove. A lot of them, it's their last race in this class. Alan Gurr will be moving up next year. Whether he moves into a car or Formula A, I'm not sure. McFadden will be racing Formula A. I think Tomlinson also, and also Blake Curtis. I'm not sure whether he'll be moving up, but I know he's changing teams to the Swiss Hutless team, which will be a new team on the series circuit next year, so it'll be good to see what they can do.
If you may have just joined our coverage, you're watching the final of Intercontinental A in the fourth and final round of the 1999 Wins Australian Karting Championship. The venue is Sydney's Eastern Creek International Karting Raceway, and not far remaining in this event at the moment. You're looking at the man that will most certainly be crowned series champion in 59, Neil McFadden, assuming he stays where he is on the circuit, which is third.
You can see also Barclay Holden there, just riching the engine up. He's going to make sure that he brings his home in the lead and brings it home in one piece. He really does deserve a lot of praise for this weekend. They've done a fantastic job. Not only Barclay Holden, he's probably one of the most underrated drivers in the field, but he doesn't get as much praise as he really deserves. And also, a lot of congratulations should go to the Zero team if they pull this win off, because they've put together a fantastic job to be leading this. They're an Australian product. They put in all their testing and development themselves, so to be competing up there with multi-million-dollar companies like the European chassis are, it's fantastic to see them come out in front.
Barclay Holden continues on his winning way. He will more than likely finish fourth in the championship.
You can see a lot of smoke come out the exhaust pipe there, David. What they're doing there is making sure the engine's keeping cool, a lot of fuel running through the engine. These front three are spread out now, and they're just going to make sure they all bring it home in one piece. Gurr's, you can see, driving very smooth, just making sure his tyres aren't going to start to overheat in the last few laps remaining. And McFadden also, he'll be very happy there. I'm sure he's sitting back in third place with probably one of the biggest smiles he's ever had on his face, knowing that if he brings his home in one piece, he'll be a crown champion again. After being first year in juniors last year in the FNK scene, winning the championship, and also to come back this year and win Intercontinental A, it's a fantastic job.
We now drift back, second and third. Gurr blasting past that camera position. McFadden is, of course, third. Here they come again, second and third. Would you describe this circuit as an abrasive circuit on tyres?
Yeah, definitely. It's very hard to get your chassis set up right here at the circuit, and you can see how thick the black lines are on the circuit when they go through the corners. That's just the amount of rubber that is laid down, and that's causing a lot of grip and a lot of tyres to wear. And not only is it physically, it's also, sorry, is it hard on tyres, but he's also very physically demanding on drivers. There's a lot of turns.
How much can you do to alter a chassis setup on a kart?
There is a lot you can do. We do a lot of axle changes with the flex rating in the axles. We have various chassis. Most drivers have 2 or 3 chassis per race that vary, and there's a lot you can do with seat positions and the material that the seats are made out of. Various things that you can do to change the chassis setup, even to the fact of using different wheels.
Very interesting. Barclay Holden, about half a lap of the Eastern Creek International Karting Raceway to run, and he's going to win the final race in the Winds Karting Championship for this year, and he will finish 4th in the championship outright behind McFadden, Gurr and Burns. Now Jason Burns, despite the fact he hasn't figured in the top 10 of this race, he is going to finish 3rd, 4 points ahead of this man, Barclay Holden.
You see the lead Barclay gained over that last couple of laps. He's done a fantastic job, just sat there throughout the race, made sure everything was right. So the last couple of laps, if he had to drive hard to win that race, he knew he was going to get there.
All right, it's Holden, Gurr and McFadden, the top 3. Look at the championship points now, though. At the completion of 4 rounds, McFadden, Gurr, Jason Burns on 134, then Holden on 130, equal with Andrew Tomlinson, James Small and Jason Heinrich.
Now, this place is a place that's been fairly kind to you. 3rd here not so long ago.
Yeah, we seem to get the karts going pretty good around here, and today the kart was just fantastic all day. Engines didn't miss a beat, and just put it all together in the final.
A great effort in the Oceanias and a great effort here today. Once again, well done.
Thanks a lot.
Moving along to 2nd place, Alan Gurr, congratulations, but you just couldn't quite get there.
No, I had a few problems. The front wheel coming loose in the final about lap 10, and it made it really hard to drive, and I saw Neil behind me, and I thought, oh God, here we go.
Looking ahead for you, though, I mean, a great confidence boost heading over to Japan for the World Cup.
Yeah, well, it's not too bad. I mean, considering we've had like an up and down year, we're pretty confident going to Japan. And I think Neil going over as well, it'd be good to continue the racing over there.
2nd place today, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, 3rd place today, but a great result nonetheless, and enough for the championship. Neil McFadden, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I'm really happy about that. It's good to get another championship under the belt. Won last year and now won this year. It's really good.
Let's talk about that. You won in the juniors, you won it now in Inter. What's next?
Well, logical to go Formula A. With a bit of luck, might move up there and see what we can do up there.
Now, I understand also that you may have already or have had a test in a Formula Ford. Is that something you've got aspirations for?
Oh, yeah, definitely in the future. I had a test of them and they're awesome to drive, and definitely looking forward to maybe a drive one of them in the not-too-distant future.
What was your game plan here today? I mean, it seemed as though it was just a case of conserve the kart, get to the finish and get the championship. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, well, we had a DNF in the first heat, which sort of made us rethink the situation and just try and get the points to win the series. And just like to thank all my sponsors, especially Skilled Engineering, MC Tunes, Wall Contracting, and everyone that helped me.
Once again, well done. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, he's a worthy